housing market is insane. And sometimes you'll come across a listing, for instance, for a shack that's on the market for $1.5 million. Makes no sense. But what does seem to make a lot of sense is in Florida, there is real estate that's currently on the market for only $43 million. The thing is, if you want to take a tour of this property, you might have difficulty seeing it because it's currently submerged in water. So, a Delray Beach developer is hawking a pristine waterfront property in Florida for a whopping $43 million, but it's under the brackish patina of the Intracoastal Waterway in Boca Raton with a base of muck and sand and threadbare seagrass.
Vocabulary in that.
Boca Raton, by the way, means rat's mouth. Why would they name it that? I don't know. But John.
I did not know that. Yeah, no, I love the SAT vocabulary stuff there. That's great. Do you pay extra for the muck and the seagrass, or is that included in the $43 million?
It's included. It's included. Okay. What's not included is the dirt and the seawall and everything that's necessary to make that real estate, if you could call it that, worth your while.
To make that land you're buying land?
Land, yes.
Yeah, I'd like it to be land.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually.
How about don't build a house there? Anyway, what is wrong with people? Okay.
If it works, that's a great way to make $43 million.
But it doesn't work. Okay, so let me explain why I'm saying that. So William Swaim, he is someone who apparently specializes in flooded land. He says that other people overlook. Swaim, who specializes in flooded lands that other people overlook, said the plot can be filled with buildable dirt. Have a seawall constructed and is zoned for single-family homes. He'll do the dirt and seawall, but it will cost an extra $3.5 million, or maybe just don't build a home there.
Yeah.
It's submerged in water in Florida. Big water, huge water, ocean water. Like, do people not understand? Like, stop rebuilding in areas that keep getting flooded. The climate emergency is not made up, it's real. Rising sea levels not made up, it's here, it's happening. We're seeing it with our very eyes. John, you know about this, weigh in.
Yeah, well, maybe this is a good idea for an old rich person who doesn't care what happens after they die and just wants to have a nice view for the next couple of years. Maybe that's good. Otherwise, there's a whole country you can move to, a bunch of it, and maybe you want it to be super conservative. There's inland conservatism that you can move to. There's other bodies of water you could build next to. Why are people so devoted to this particular body of water that they would not only go to all this trouble of inventing land where it doesn't exist, which technically you can do on any body of water. So I guess if this does take off, people are just gonna stand on the beach and just point out there and say you can have that for 50 mil. But to do all this in Florida, which as you point out, sure, you can fill it in with dirt. It's gonna flood worse next year and worse the year after that. That is pretty much locked in for decades now, and people need to get used to it.
They need to get used to it, and also, look, I remember reading this article recently after Hurricane Ian. It was published in The Atlantic about how, like, so many people have moved to Florida, especially South Florida, that the way that they've overdeveloped and overbuilt is not sustainable, considering the ecosystem there, considering like what the land there can actually bear. Yeah, exactly. And it made me think about, how sometimes there's just this effort to like build more housing, build more housing, build more housing. Like in California, right? Build more housing, which true, there is a housing crisis. But we're also currently rationing water in certain parts of California thanks to the drought. So I don't know what the answer is, but what I do know is don't spend $43 million on land that's submerged in water. It doesn't make any sense.